All right. Here we are, back with some Kerbal Space Program.
Warning. This program contains coarse humor and a sense of language that some people might not share. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right. So, I am not late today. It's daylight savings time. And daylight savings time is just a fancy way of saying people are messing with their heads intentionally. No one likes daylight savings time. That's just a well-known fact. Here's the one that we're looking for. We're going to be sending another spacecraft to Duna. Actually, before we do that, this time we're going to be planting a flag, because last time we weren't able to do that. Let's take that mission. We don't really need to do any of these other ones. Just, that should be good enough. All right. So Jeb Kerman failed. He did not land on Duna and perform an EVA as he was supposed to. Therefore, it is a failed mission. The reason being this parachute. Get rid of it. Put another one right here. The door is no longer obstructed. Now, I think I need a ladder for this, don't I? Hold on. Right, I think I need a ladder for this. For this to be able to work. Do that. That gets us almost all the way to the ground. And I guess I can put one of these on here too. That one goes pretty much all the way down. That's good. Okay. So we got our ladders set up. This one will go. That'll go right into this one. That'll work fine. This time, Jeb is not being sent on this mission. This time we're sending this dude. Potentially he can fix crap after it breaks, so I want to see how that works. What else we got? This all looks good, for the most part. I mean, it was a successful mission, apart from the fact that we couldn't exit the capsule. This time we want to plant a flag, so we'll save that. It is now mostly perfect. Let's, I don't know, is there anything else we really need to add? I guess we could do a thermometer. Thermometer, we'll do a perometer. Not a barometer, a perometer. It's used to measure cats. Alright. That should be good enough. So this made it to Duna once, it can make it there again. Just a matter of course, landing it on the surface. Which I imagine we should be able to do. Because like I said, we've done it before. Get the episode started off on the right foot with a countdown. I ate a bunch of spicy food, so sorry if my voice is a little bit off today. See, if we launch from there, we are doomed. Alright, we need to wait until morning. Need to wait until we're facing this direction. Or at least close to it. That works for me. Now we can take off. Not yet. We need some form of stability assist. This guy's not good enough. Oh, that also reminds me. Let's modify the top of this thing. Give it a couple of batteries here. Right, right? Holy crap, that's a huge battery. Just a couple of these small ones. Only we need to decouple them. That's pointless. That's pointless. There we go. This decoupler is going to be on its own. Right up here. We're going to leave part of this with the, with that science module. Something for control. I mean, doesn't this work well enough? I think so. Remote pilot assist. It just does stability. But not 0.07. I mean, this has the added benefit that it's... Oh, wait, no, you can't strap it to the side. Well, never mind then. It has no benefit. I'll use one of these then. That's going to break off. I'll put one of these down. That ought to work. Put this on top. And I guess it doesn't really matter if that's, if that looks good. Alright. Now we should have everything we need. And once again, we have to wait until morning. Just want to double check that it does have stability assistance. Yes, it does. Awesome. Let us wait. Alright, close enough. Oops. Let's go. Damn, that is loud. Alright. So we got Bill here. Basically, we're just going to punch this right out of the Kerbal sphere of influence. I don't know, something tells me that that's not as aerodynamic as they say it is. I don't know what it could be. It'll be the fact that it has this giant-ass friggin' gradient stepping off the back of it. That's going to cause massive separation. That is going to cause massive amounts of viscous diffusion. But once it's out of the atmosphere, it won't even matter. So let's, we'll just let that go for now. Once again, the viscous diffusion shows its ugly face. Look at that. Usually when you're designing something that's supposed to be aerodynamic, you don't want to have a steep gradient like that, especially if you're going to be working in a compressible region, because that steep gradient is going to cause your separation. That's going to cause your increased drag. And the fact that it, you see it has a very sharp gradient going up there, that's, when you get into the compressible region, that can actually cause weak shocks to develop over the surface. So obviously, not a well-designed product, but given the laws of physics of Kerbal Space Program, the laws of physics allow for it to be basically anything. Well, it can do whatever it wants. Kerbal Space Program is not the most accurate, that's what I'm going to say. But nonetheless, it is a physics simulation. You have drag being calculated within the atmosphere. Outside of the atmosphere, obviously, there is zero drag, so the orbits do not tend to decay. It is interesting nonetheless. Alright, so we're just going to punch this as far as it'll go. With any luck... Ooh. Yeah, that's not a great angle, but it's a decent angle. With any luck, we're going to be hitting this. Maybe in Kerbin's orbit. That's going to push us out to Duna eventually. And the goal here is to land on Duna, plant a flag, take a surface sample, go into orbit, rendezvous with the science lab module orbiter, deliver batteries, then head back home in time for tea. So, whether or not we will be home in time for tea is anyone's guess. As for this little sunflower array that I set up here, I guess I can start opening that up. I call it the sunflower array because in general, something circular like this, it can get solar power from just about any angle. There's a few angles where it won't, but in general you'll have at least one of these getting some power, so you don't have to worry about it running out. Alright. How are we here? Doing pretty good. Alright, close to 1,000,000 kilometers. Now, in terms of efficiency, I wouldn't say that this is the most efficient method. In fact, I might say the opposite. We're basically just going straight from here and punching our way out of the sphere of influence here. In my experience, I've had more reliably successful missions by doing exactly that. So, in my mind, it works. What we're going to do once we're out of this sphere of influence here, there we go. Cut power to that. As you can see, our apogee is a little bit above Kerbin's, so that's decent. We are going to have to determine where our next maneuver is going to be such that we collide. Well, not collide. Such that we encounter the red planet. Alright, that's almost on opposite sides of the solar system. That's good to know. So we're almost going to have to wait an entire year, actually, now that I look at this. We're going to be like way down here by the time that we actually begin that burn. How's that? That's a bollocksed up close approach. Okay. No, that doesn't actually work. Huh. We'll feel our way around here, see what we get. No, it's still opposite sides. That's gonna suck. It is looking like, first of all, whatever updates they did to this game made it significantly longer to open up a single add maneuver. See how it lags like that? That's kind of annoying. Where are we? That's our target. That's where we're gonna be. That's kind of a crap. That's where we're gonna be. That's where our target. Okay. Okay. Let's wait till we get to here. Ah, look at that. I adjusted the orbit of the Sentinel last episode. It is now accomplishing its mission. See, look at that. The sunflower is still getting electricity, regardless of our orientation. So we still have electricity now. That Sentinel mission, those Sentinel missions are actually worth a lot. And they're very easy to do. There's almost no reason to not do the Sentinel missions, especially the first one. Oh, what? Control node locked? My ass is locked. Why is the control node locked? Let's keep us pointed there. There's no control node lock. Oh. We don't have any form of communication on board, do we? I thought we had satellite or some kind of, shit. Oh, this is not going to be good. We don't have any communication. Huh. Did not see that happening. Okay. Because when we had, Jeb Kerbin, whatever his name was, he could control it himself, and so we didn't actually have to worry about the control nodes. But no, we're actually out of range of any comms devices. Therefore, we cannot adjust attitude like that. Alright, so this is what we're looking at here. There's our target, there's where we're going to be. For this to work, we need to overshoot the target by a significant margin. Which we're not going to do. We're not going to do that. Damn, we still can't add a maneuver. What we're going to do, we're going to add a maneuver over here, and then we're going to just kind of adjust from there. Now, if I go to here, let's go just past that node. Alright. We completed another mission thanks to that Sentinel satellite. Right, so we're going to go right past here. We're going to see what our next close approach is. And hopefully... Yeah, look at that. Limited crew control, and we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. That's just not good. So what is our next close approach? Oshiete kudasai. Our next close approach is moving with us. Keep going. Alright, there's our next close approach. We're going to be there. Target is going to be there. So, our target will barely have moved in the time that it takes us to go around again. Oh, right, I can't add a maneuver. Okay. Okay, you know what? I think we can do this. If we... We're going to have to go around again. That's going to take a while. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's stop that. Let's just, I don't know, kick this forward a little bit. I want to see what it does. Alright, get us a little closer to that. Oh, wow. I literally turned that off right as we ran out of fuel. Okay. Lovely. Anyway, we really don't need that. Let's warp over to here. Approximately 1 year away. Hold on. I just have a feeling that this is not quite what it's showing me. That's going to be there at this time. Okay. So realistically, I might actually need to push this in further. We actually don't have a time limit on this mission. So I can pretty much just waste time like this and it doesn't matter. Let's, alright, let's do that. We'll see what happens. Realistically, this mission is not exactly critical. Because Bob is not an asset. So it doesn't exactly matter if it returns. Though I would like to see it succeed. It is simply not imperative. Okay, so that's closest approach. And target is... Oh my god, target's going to be way down there. We're going to be way off on this. Look at that. We'll be basically opposite sides of the solar system with this one. And this is at the maximum warp speed too, eh? That's, okay. But there's Duna, there's where we are. Ooh, that was weird. We will get closer in the future. However, that's where we're going to be, and that's where Duna's going to be. So I wonder what we can do with that. Because this looks like we could do something with this. But the problem is, I don't have any control nodes. Without control nodes, I'm kind of at a loss here. Like, there is nothing I can do without a control node, because I can't plan. And you don't necessarily realize it at first, but planning is a very essential aspect of Kerbal Space Program. Okay. We're supposed to be moving faster than... Oh my god, this is taking friggin' forever. You know what? I'm inclined to just revert flight and put a frickin' antenna on this thing. I cannot stand that. That is just friggin' horrible. Let's get an antenna on here, damn it. Oh my god, that was just awful. Okay, what's a strong antenna we can do? Something with a relay, I hope. Okay, that's way too big. There's no way we're taking that with us. No, sir. That's 15. This is 100G, but it's friggin' tiny. Doesn't have a relay on it, but you know what? I think that's good enough. We'll do that. Let's do this again. This time we have an antenna, so we should be able to maintain control and use those control nodes that we love so much. If our pilot was a higher level, then I guess it would work. Alright, here we go. Once again, wait until morning. Always better to launch in the morning. Alright. Get this guy up off the ground. You know, they really should have a better checklist system on here. It would be nice. It would be nice to know that I forgot the antennas. Something like an actual pop-up. Maybe. I don't know. That might get annoying to some people. Alright. Holy hell. Temperature in the room just friggin' climbed. What is it in here? 30. Well, that's lovely. It's supposed to be friggin' winter. Why is it 30 degrees? That's centigrade, by the way. Alright. What time marching scheme do you reckon they're using on this? Most video games use something like an explicit Euler. Right? The conditions at state 2 are equal to the conditions at state 1 plus some component of physics multiplied by your time step. That's what most games use. That's an explicit Euler. It doesn't tend to be stable in a lot of cases. And in fact, it can be very much unstable when you're talking about aerodynamics. So I ask ye, are they actually using an explicit Euler time marching scheme? Or just maybe they're using an implicit? I guess we'll never know since it's closed source. But if they were using an implicit scheme, I imagine that crap with the asteroids wouldn't have happened last... how many episodes ago was that? A few episodes ago we had some crap with an asteroid. Which probably wouldn't have happened if they had a stable time marching scheme. Just saying. So I guess that means, yeah, the Sentinel mission's still going. But this time we're not resetting for anything. This time we have communications. Check it out. 2 antennas. These are 100G combinable. That should give us 200G of distance over which we can communicate with another 200G pickup. In other words, for the most part, once we actually land on Duna, we should be able to get a direct connection to Kerbal Space Center without much issues. That'll be nice. Alright. Should be breaking out of the Kerbal Sphere anytime now. Anytime. What's this guy doing? This guy's just chilling. Look at him. What is this? Interior overlay. Can we get gravity data here? We actually can. Wow. I don't imagine it's worth much. But data is data. Alright, here we go, here we go. Now we're going somewhere. Alright. We're gonna break the Kerbal Sphere. Then we're gonna, I don't know, have the ability to use our control nodes and potentially actually get to Duna. So we'll give that, I don't know, how much time? How much time seems like a good idea? How to maneuver there. Give it almost a year. Oof. Yeah, that does not look good. We go from here. I usually like to do a couple tests of these, see what, Alright. That's where our target's gonna be in about a year. Do this a little sooner, that's not gonna work. No, we gotta wait almost a year before we actually start approaching, approaching Duna. Let's go to there, it's about a year away. Oh. We need to extend our sunflower here. Extend the sunflower. By having these solar panels in a sunflower arrangement, we've more or less ensured, regardless of our orientation, we should be able to get electricity. Alright. We're going to see this Sentinel mission complete while we're doing this, simply because those are the easiest missions ever. And there we go. So we literally just made back all the money that we spent on this spacecraft and more. So you get those Sentinel missions, they are worth. That's the definition of a Sentinel mission. It is worth. Further grammatical correctness need not apply. Where are we going here? This is getting a little closer. That's getting a bit closer. Still not very good. Wait another year. We're getting closer. We're getting there. We are getting there, but currently not there yet. And a bit more time. So you haven't even dropped 1%. That's how good these antennae are. Antenna A. Here we go. Let's try it here. We go from our descending node in about a year. That is very close. That is very close. Actually, I think we'd be maybe right about here. This would be our maneuver point right here. Passing right underneath of my mouse there. That might be the most efficient point to try our burn when we come around in about a year. Let's try it. How does it look? Very, very close. Absolutely close. Look at that. Okay. So roughly here, somewhere. So yeah, we'll give that a year. Ooh, look at that. The Big D. Disappeared. Darn. It'd be really cool to actually get something in a close orbit of the sun. The other day I launched a mission which burned up before I got anywhere near the sun. But it worked pretty well. Like, for a mission. It worked really well, I should say. Pretty cool. Alright. So these 3 batteries on top here. These 3 are going to detach once we decide that it's time for Billy Boy to go home. Speaking of Billy Boy, that reminds me. In my pursuit of higher education, I frequently encounter this theory by some guy whose name I cannot pronounce. Let's take Adams Bashforth as an example. Normally, I would never be able to remember that name for the life of me. Adams Bashforth. Like, what is that? It sounds like a dog. My natural tendency is to try and rename it into something that's more digestible. Like Addy Boy. Clearly, Addy Boy is easier to remember than Adams Bashforth. The only thing is, there is also an Adams Moulton, which would also be characterized as Addy Boy. So that's kind of problematic, isn't it? The solution is to use the second part of the name. So instead of Addy Boy, oops, no, I don't want to view the unknown target. I want to add a maneuver, please. Instead of using Addy Boy for Adams Bashforth, lately, oh, that is perfect. Lately, I have started using Bashy Boy to describe Adams Bashforth-based time marching. And you have Runga Kutta. I call him Cuddy Boy. There's Richardson theorem. I call him Richie. It's like you have all these people who have joined the pantheon of the immortals, whose names have been immortalized as constants or mathematical theorems. And here I am with Bashy Boy. I don't know. Almost seems improper to some extent. Okay, here we go. We're in the zone. T-minus 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Close enough. Let's go. So this is probably going to run out of fuel very quickly here. It might get us most of the way. Once it does run out, we're switching to the nuclear chemical. Not sure if anyone heard this, but there was a what was it? The Dawn satellite that's currently in the whatchamacallit asteroid belt. That's it, right? The famous Dawn in the asteroid belt, presently taking measurements. Well, was. The current prevailing theory is that it has run out of hydrazine. Hydrazine, the chemical formula is N2H2. Hydrazine is commonly used as a monopropellant. So they basically were using a monopropellant on Dawn to keep its attitude, more or less. Once you run out of monopropellant, then what? Not much you can do at that point. Just have to abandon mission. So basically they were using it to maintain their attitude relative to the sun, which would keep it charged, keep the solar panels going, keep the mission alive. Unfortunately, they lost communications with it. So, pertinent to our discussion on immortal constants, Donny Boy is no more. Oh my god. I had no idea that that naming scheme would work out so well for NASA's Dawn rover. I was not expecting that. But yeah, the Dawn rover now has a new nickname, which is incredible. Where is this? This is anti-radial, isn't it? Or radial in, they call it. That'll work. Does this allow me? This does not allow me. I would like very much to warp to the next position, please. Thank you so much. Alright, here we go. Burn time is 0. Let's... Good enough. That'll work. Alright. Now we just need to get to Duna. And that's it. Get to Duna and land. That's... Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. Talk about dual encounters right there. That's going to go in. It's going to encounter Duna at 147. It's going to come out here. It's going to encounter Ike at 20. And then it's going to be on its way. But I'm going to be adding a maneuver right about here, which I should probably prepare for. Roughly 1 year for that maneuver. Wow. Well, let's bring her in here. There we go. A 3-minute burn. I don't imagine we have enough fuel for that. We'll start it back here. As you can see, the orbits do not decay. It's a beautiful thing. To an extent, it might even be better for Kerbal Space Program if they did introduce an orbit decay that is based on the mass of the satellite. So in this case we have the science module, which has a pretty good mass to it, right? Something like a planet, or in this case Ike. The mass is so extreme that you wouldn't quite expect it to what the hell is that? You wouldn't quite expect it to deorbit that easily. And realistically, no, you wouldn't. But just a very slight orbit decay for something that's a low mass, for example, something that weighs maybe a kilogram. You should see an orbit decay a lot quicker than something that's, I don't know, 100 kilograms, 100 tons. So something that weighs like 70 tons should have an orbit decay, but not something too extreme, right? Look at this, still 94% signal strength. That's incredible. We're going to be crossing the sun pretty soon. But that's still pretty good. Here we go. Let's see if it actually maintains signal. Does it go to one of the relays? It might. Does it communicate with a relay, or is it direct only? It does go to a relay. Okay. Lovely. Very much lovely indeed. Okay, here we go. Alright. That's what I like to see. Point ourselves opposite to the velocity vector. We have almost no fuel left in this thing. Look, this is going to burn for 2 seconds. Less than 2 seconds. The rate this thing burns, geez. It's going to burn for half a second. And then we'll be switching to nuclear. Let's, I guess give it a quick punch here. Seven seconds. Wow. Alright, well, color me impressed. Let's dump it. We no longer need that. And this goes the rest of the way. Bye-bye, old fuel. So what is our acceleration rate here? Oops. Our acceleration rate is 2.3 meters per second squared. Sea level gravity is 3 meters per second squared. Roughly. 3. 2.3. This is not going to end well. We might need to sacrifice a couple of parachutes for this. We may very well need to sacrifice a couple of parachutes. That is a potential hazard there. Of course, that all depends on how much of this fuel we can waste. Let's just blow out a bunch of this fuel. We'll see what we get. That's the module we're looking to rendezvous with at a later point. That'll be interesting. Alright, our perigee is going in slightly. That's concerning. We just don't want it to break the atmosphere is the key. What is the atmosphere height? Atmosphere height is 50K. Alright, as long as we stay above 50, we should be fine. Let's cancel that. I want the next maneuver. We don't care about the next maneuver. Warp there. No. Here. I'm hoping that for today we can at least land on the surface of Duna. That is our goal of the episode. So sea level gravity, 3 meters per second squared, roughly. Acceleration rate that we have is 2.3. There is a very good chance that we cannot land successfully. Though if necessary, we can jettison a couple of those fuel tanks, and that'll lighten up the structure a little bit. Still, we're going to have less thrust since there is an atmosphere as well. So yeah, I might just need to waste a couple of parachutes for the purposes of landing on Duna here today. If it needs to be done, I will do it, but I would much rather not have to. How are we doing here? 92. Not bad, not bad. Keep it above 50 and we're happy. Alright. This should be pretty close. Well, not close. Yeah, our perigee's moving in there. Alright. Max acceleration 2.4 meters per second. That's going to decay as we enter the atmosphere, so that's going to suck. We'll do this. Alright. We have our landing path sort of defined now. With any luck, we should be able to land successfully. I think I want to take two of these. These two top ones maybe. There's a possibility we won't be able to land successfully due to the weight of this additional fuel here. I'll jettison two of these if I have to, though. That's my plan. I plan to keep things working. Sometimes too much fuel is a curse. And in this case, it certainly appears to be the reality of the situation. All right. On the other hand, it does seem to be working very well. Max acceleration of 2.4 is terrifying me right now. We really want to crank up that acceleration if we're going to be landing here. We could, like I said, deploy a couple of parachutes. I might have to. Again, it all depends, I guess. Ultimately, we're not really expecting this guy to get home, so maybe we don't even have to worry about it. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like a pimple right there. Yeah, 2.4, not nearly enough, not for a landing. Best to jettison fuel. It's up at 2.5 now. I don't know. It's all up in the air at this point. Should I jettison the fuel, or should I waste a couple of parachutes? So I could do either one, but doing both of them would be a massive waste of resources. Still 2.5. Huh. That is most worrisome indeed. I'm going to keep that up. Keep that peg there. Let's at least let it get into atmosphere now. Speaking of which, we need to be opposing surface velocity. What are we doing here? Yeah, that 2.5 ain't much. Don't need this anymore. That 2.5 ain't worth much. I think we're gonna have to jettison. So structural components we can get rid of. We can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this. Oh crap, they need a crossfeed. Enable the crossfeed on these two. I'm gonna bring in the rest of the liquid fuel from this guy. I'm gonna jettison this this piece of structure here. I'm gonna do the same for these two. Enable the crossfeed. So these two side tanks can go. We don't need them. Because this guy's a 145. Let's get rid of him. And let's get rid of this guy too. You're a 144. Oh shit. Come on, go. Alright. This will help us. Less fuel is more. What do we got here? We now have 2.8 meters per second of acceleration. Which is not great. Though at the same time it is not bad. So that might have been a waste. Let's keep this atmospheric scan. That's useful. Is this worth anything? That's used. This. Okay. Alright. You can take that. Pressure? Alright. Not bad. Not bad. It's cool. Does this... This is also used. Well, high over the sun. Well, he wasn't that high. He was just a little buzzed. We'll keep that. Alright. We are ready to land. It's too bad that we are moving too quickly to land. 400 meters per second is a bit fast. Push comes to shove, I will enable the... I'll do the top. These top parachutes, I'd rather not. But I will enable them if necessary. We'll just have to see. We're heading towards the ground pretty damn quick there. Our acceleration 3.1 meters per second squared. Ground acceleration is roughly 3. So that altitude pull-in, as we can see, this surface velocity is not moving very fast. I'm going to work under the assumption that we're going to be using these guys. We're going to stage them next. Because the last thing we want to do is crash this guy into the ground. That would be just awful. Alright, steepening that angle. Ooh. Look at that, max acceleration is going way up. That's really good. Despite the fact that we are in atmosphere, as we can see, our thrust is slowly falling off there. Not significantly, but slowly. Okay, that was the other two. That wasn't me. Oh, that scared me for a second. That sudden blip of the audio. How close are we? We are very close to the ground. This is not good. This is not good at all. This is perhaps too close to the ground to be able to save, methinks. Why didn't the parachutes go? Oh, thank God. Come on, parachutes, do your thing. Oh boy, we're right there. We're right at the ground now. Oh dear, this is not good. What in the hell was that? This friggin' thing just melted. What the hell was that? The goddamn thing melted when it touched the ground. That's... I mean, I know it was a pretty steep angle of ascent and everything, but good God. Alrighty then. Deck this thing out with parachutes. The more the better. Yeah. Well, I'm obviously not going to do that mission again right now. That's, took me long enough to get there. Jeez. So anyone want to tell me how in the hell that worked last time, but it didn't work this time? The only difference between the two, I suppose, would be the updates that were sent out by the developers of the game. So maybe an update broke my spacecraft. Nonetheless, I'm not going to bother with this BS anymore. I have stuff to do. Exams to write. I must go. That's it for Kerbal Space Program today. I don't know what the hell that was at the end there. I mean, it survived the initial impact, but then all of a sudden the frickin' thing melted. Like, what the hell is that? God, the temperature in here is unsavory. So yeah, summary of today's Kerbal Space Program stream. We took the we took the Duna lander that worked last time. And it didn't work this time. For whatever reason, it disintegrated upon impacting the ground. Whereas last time it did not do that. So I'm thinking perhaps an update may have broken that. I'm not one to blame the game though. Next time, we're decking this thing out with like 8 parachutes. That ought to take care of it. Anyway, I'm the 404 guy, 78G404 GUY. Hopefully this week is better than that stream. That did not end up very well. If I disintegrate the next time I touch the ground, then we'll know that Kerbal Space Program physics are starting to work their way into real life. But if you did enjoy the stream, feel free to subscribe, follow, etc. Doesn't matter to me because I don't get paid for this, but in any case, have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.